another severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. Let's take a look at that. Other severe thunderstorm warning. If you can hear thunder. Okay, so they just issued that for some parts. So this big polygon right here, that one has expired up there where Middleton was. So this hard the one in Middleton. I'm gonna try to stop the frame when it gets there. This new one right here, this severe thunderstorm warning covers parts of Bolivar, south of Henderson, Savannah, Holly Springs. Yeah, it covers parts of Holly Springs, Hernando, well, south of Hernando. This is south of DeSoto County as well. So DeSoto County is not really, it's kind of east of DeSoto County, kind of in the middle of Hernando line. So the severe thunderstorm warning, this was issued at 2:13. The National Weather Service of Memphis has issued a severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to call off your areas. If you're in northeastern DeSoto County, in northwestern Mississippi, Marshall County, Benton County, and northwestern Mississippi, northeastern Mississippi, Fayette County in West Tennessee, Hardeman County in West Tennessee, northwest McNairy County, that's in West Tennessee, southeastern Shelby County in West Tennessee, southwestern Chester County in West Tennessee. That's severe thunderstorm warning. This is until 3 o'clock. So about another, roughly 45 minutes maybe? 40, 45, maybe 50 minutes? Roughly about 45, 50 minutes. At 2:12, severe thunderstorms were located along the line extended from near Dansonville, that was to 8 miles southeast of Edos, to Lewisburg, moving east at 35 miles. So the hazard winds are 60-mile wind gusts and penny-sized hail possible. So source, this is because the radar indicated. It may not be right now, but radar indicates it. The impact expected damage to roofs, sidings, and trees. So locations impacted the call off of Carlinville, Olive Branch, Holly Springs, Bolivar, Waldoxie State Park, Lamar, Whiteville, Somerville, Byhalia, Snow Lake Shores, Sillington, Mount Pleasant, Masseyville, Lewisburg, Michigan City, Red Banks, Canyon, LaRoche, Slayton, and Marion. This includes the following highways: Interstate 40 in Tennessee between mile march 41, 42, Interstate 22 Mississippi between mile march 6 and 41. So here's the, for your protection, move to the interior room on the low floor building. Torrential rainfalls occurring with these storms that may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle in flooded ways. That's what it says. Turn around, don't drown. That's severe thunderstorm warnings until 3 o'clock. You can look on radar. We see a lot of red. So the red means a tornado, but we don't have a red polygon. But all this rotation, you see this red and pink. I wouldn't be surprised if they call for, hey, let's issue a tornado warning. Because now we're really starting to see rotation pick up. About a couple minutes ago, it wasn't this red on radar. So that means now radar is starting to pick up rotation. But the National Weather Service hadn't decided to issue a tornado warning. They may in the next couple minutes or not. Because when we looked a few minutes ago, this radar wasn't that red. It was mostly yellow, like it was trying to break up. But now more rotation has came within the storm. That's why we say storm causes rotation all the time. Sure, about 30, 45 minutes ago, it was yellow and green. But now we're in the dark red and yellow. That's bad. And that pink is hell. So, yeah, they may issue a couple tornado warnings, maybe over here in Holly Springs and Oxford and near Batesville, possibly some rotation. And maybe they may issue some up in Bolivar, Holly Springs, maybe eastern of DeSoto County, maybe some near South Haven or something. We'll have to see what National Weather Service has to say. Hopefully they don't issue a tornado warning, but if radar indicates it, I think from my point of view looking at radar, I would indicate that radar thinks one. The National Weather Service doesn't think that. They're way more advanced. So National Weather Service take place on whether they should issue a warning right here. I'm not in charge of it. If I was, I probably would, but I'm not in charge of it. Their procedures are way different. But yeah. Their procedures are way different. So if you're just now tuning in, we have another severe thunderstorm warning that's over in Holly Springs, western DeSoto County, Bolivar, and the other counties. I'm going to turn it over here to meteorologist on WRG, ABC News 24. I forgot. His name is Kit Thomas.
Memphis is quiet now. We're probably done for the severe threat at this point.
Yeah, we're probably done.
We'll wait to see if the National Weather Service does trim back the severe thunderstorm watch in that area. They'll probably give it a little while before they do that, as they're busy with this severe thunderstorm right now. But overall, things are a little rowdy across northern Mississippi. This was what we were expecting across northern Mississippi, intense thunderstorms. It shifted a little bit north overnight on the model, so that trend is the latest. Of course, our morning meteorologist, Daniel McDonald.
But you see all that red on the radar, though. This can be some kind of tornado indication, but NWS doesn't think it's possible, so.
Thunderstorm. It's going to tilt the thunderstorm. So once it's tilted like that, you get the updraft coming up, and then all of the precipitation falls downwind. So you have this sort of triangular motion within a thunderstorm.
Exactly, and
it's going up. So you have all of the updraft producing the hail, and then you have all of the hail falling out, all of the rain falling out on the other side. So when you have that tilting, that's one thing that we need. So we've got plenty of shear. That's one. Instability is another one. We talk about that quite a bit. So we can actually pull that up. This is sort of the storm energy. So if we go back one.
I don't have access to this.
There we go. All right. If we look at the storm energy over the last few hours here, you can see where the pockets of storms have been coming out of Arkansas, moving into the Memphis area. A couple storms out ahead of that line as well. They're using that energy. So where we use the energy, where we've had a severe thunderstorm, usually you don't have another one. So then once
smart founders know something most people miss. Get your domain name even if you're not ready to launch your business. With Wix, you can grab yours now and then get to work. Here's why it matters. Back in 2019, I had this killer business idea, but I delayed getting the domain name because I wasn't ready. That was a huge mistake. Someone else
that is also a factor of the shear, but it's a different type of shear. Rather than the winds pushing it in one direction, it also factors in the wind speed. If there's a speed shear and a directional shear, that can get little tubes of air that come up, we'll say out of the south, if we have these tubes of air coming up, and then you have an upper level wind that's coming out of the west, that gets those tubes rolling. And if one of those tubes gets lifted in an updraft, that's how we can get that tornado. We really don't have this type of shear though today, where we would have those cross-directional shear markers that would lead to that overturning and the rotation of it. It's there a little bit. It's weak, but it's there. We call this helicity, the sort of helical nature of a storm. The better helicity is actually back to our sort of southwest right now across southern Arkansas. And that looks to be following south of us over the next couple of hours. We're not going to really see it in the Memphis area. If we look at the tornado outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, it is mostly to our south. We still have that green shade there. That's a 2% risk. The brown is a 5% risk. 10 would be a yellow there, 10% risk there. So we're on the low end. It's not zero, but we're on the low end. We just don't have enough of that spinning of the atmosphere right now. So that's the difference between a wind or a hail threat and a tornado threat. When we have just the cold air with the tilting and the hail is able to turn out and fall out of the updraft, we've got plenty of that. We've got cold enough air for the hail to be produced. If thunderstorms get tall enough, we just don't have enough of the spin in the atmosphere to get tornadoes going. It's possible. We can't rule it out entirely, but it's not the most likely factor. So appreciate that question. Looks like Nikki asked that question there. I got a couple other comments in here, so appreciate y'all watching us on YouTube. Of course, if you're watching on your smart device on our looks like they have updated the severe thunderstorm watch. I'm just taking a quick look at that here. It looks like the details haven't really changed. Yeah, this is just until 7 o'clock this evening. I'll pop that up here for you so you can see what I'm also looking at. But 7 o'clock, we've got potential for up to 2-inch diameter hail. So the storms that are forming in this area could produce an updraft that would produce a hailstone about 2 inches in diameter. That's about the size of a lime. If you ever get a lime at the grocery store or one of those little clementines as well. That's of course, with this, we do have the potential for some damaging wind gusts as well, about up to 70 miles per hour for those thunderstorms. And we've got the level 2 threat across the deep south here, including the mid-south, through the day today. So keeping a close eye on that. The other factor is that we've got some heavy rainfall coming through. Memphis, we've actually had a flood advisory issued in the area. So pulling that up here shortly. Everything's loading real slow today, but a couple of river warnings out there into Arkansas, but here in the Shelby County area, we have this flood advisory that is in place across the area as well. So this is until 5 o'clock. The difference between severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings and flood warnings usually go a little longer. This isn't a warning, it's an advisory, so it's a lower category, more just aerial flooding that we could see, some ponding on the roads, ponding in the fields, or in your yard or whatever. Low-lying, poor draining areas. If your street still has a lot of leaves in it that did never get cleaned up from the winter time, from back in the fall, it looks like those areas will probably have a little bit of drainage issues, especially as those leaves start to block the drains there in the gutter of the streets there. So keep that in mind. Drive carefully. Never drive through a flooded roadway, of course. And that'll be that threat there. Looking out pretty wide here as we loop this over the last 30 minutes or so. We've got some of those thunderstorms rolling through. I'll pop on the lightning. Again, the lightning hasn't been terribly abundant on the northern side, but it has started to tick up over the last little while here. Any frame of this is just within a 10-minute window. So just in the last 10 minutes across our viewing area, we've seen about 350, 360 strikes across this area. But just within the warning here, let me clear that off. I'll have to redraw that real quick. Just within this warning, this complex of thunderstorms, we've seen, again, this is a little outside, we've seen about 60 or so lightning strikes within the severe thunderstorm warning and several others outside of that as well. So a bunch of lightning right now around the Somerville area. Things are starting to clear out of your region though and head towards Bolivar. I want to take a look at the velocity just to see what the latest info is, the latest details on those radar scans. We've just seen the intense winds move through, and I'm going to pick out a few of these pixels. 50 miles per hour there, 50 there, another one probably right around 50, 48. Yeah, so some pretty strong winds, non-severe as the radar can see, but sometimes when those winds make it to the ground, they can accelerate as they sort of compress and shoot forward at the surface. This is about 1,000 feet up or so off the surface here over summer.
I used to say, if I hear AI one more time, I'm gonna lose it. But Monday.com is super easy to use and knows how to do AI right. My team quit going through endless documents ourselves. Monday Sidekick handles that now, pulling the crucial info and then prioritizing based on whatever we need. So stuff that takes my team hours is now done before they even open their laptop. I use it for insights and action suggestions constantly, especially on those back-to-back meeting days. All these AI features are built directly into Monday.com and actually use our real data. With Monday.com, AI isn't some
30, 40 miles per hour. So it's not in.
Like we said, yeah, those winds are very, very bad. As you, that was meteorologist Kit. Kit. All right, so we're gonna take a look at MDOT camera. I want to see, because if you hear thunder or something, because I know I have the audio turned up all the way loud. We're trying to tell you this is no joke. We're not lying. Because there's when I was off air about a few minutes, because I had them on here, I've heard thunder for the past like 5, maybe about 3-4 times now. Pull up our MDOT traffic camera. We'll see. I want to take it over where highways be at. Airways. That'd be the busiest highway. Oh, ain't nothing. Not right there. This is the camera look at Malone. You can see the wind is blowing. That's why the camera seems like it might fall, because the wind's blowing. So yeah, it is right. Oh, and that little flash you see through the camera, that's lightning. It's just you won't really see it through the camera, and you can hear it too. So that's a look at Malone at 302. Let's take a look at. Nobody's on Pleasant, huh? Trying to find where the busy roads did.
It took me over 6 years
Oh, this is a look at I-55 at church. Oh, you cannot see the camera, the visibility. That's how you know. I think the rain is good for the camera because look, you can't even see the camera on Church Road at 55 on I-55 because of the rain and the visibility. I think no, it's not the visibility because of the rain. So that's what I-55 is looking like. As you can see, slippery flooding is our main concern too. And that's south. It seems like when you go south, it's not really rain. Oh, get well. Yeah, get well. Let's look at Mississippi 302 at Getwell Road. To see everybody turned their lights on. Some of them got their hazards on. That's a good sign. Everybody needs to turn their lights on so the drivers can see that is a good thing. We love to see that. I love to see that. That means everybody's trying to take caution and be safe. I love to see when people do that. See, some of them don't. One of them don't have their lights on. That car didn't have their lights on, but that's on them. But I see everybody else got their lights on. And that's the Kroger parking lot over there. You can see a couple cars driving through there. Yeah, that's a look at Getwell. I'm trying to find some of the busy roads to see how traffic is moving. Oh, that's the rim on state line. You know nobody, don't nobody really be down on state line. So Greenbrook. This is a look at Greenbrook. Look, that water moving through is starting to pound on the road. That's why it seems like it's flooding. Like we said, it is a little bit of flooding in roads, streets, highways, even in your rural areas. If you're even in the ditch areas, all that. So there is some flooding. Look, you can see these cars. They both got I guess they got 4-wheel drive because they're still. Oh, look, that car right there is pulling over a little bit. Okay, that's a good thing. Trying to take it safe, like because I guess he was thinking about turning around because he saw that water pump. That's what we love to see. Stop for a second and thinking. He probably was gonna turn around, but he risked it because I guess because he think, oh, I got 4-wheel drive, I'm still gonna go through that pond in water. People without 4-wheel drive, a little bit of water, you can still flood in it. Doesn't take much water, but most people now have 4-wheel drive though. That's why we don't really see people flooding through the water. Oh, I never was sharing my screen. Oopsies, I didn't realize that. I guess I just been talking now sharing my screen. I didn't even realize it. But yeah, this is look, that was water that's flooding. Yeah, people, there was this one red car. Stopped for a second, got off to the side. I'm gonna explain it because I didn't realize I wasn't sharing. He got off to the side, he stopped for a second, was he gonna turn back around? But I guess because he had 4-wheel drive, he just kept going. But at least he stopped now. So he stopped and thought, okay, so was he gonna go back or was he not gonna go back? So this is a look at Greenbrook at North at Mississippi 302. Let's pull up right here. Okay, we're going to share. So if you just now tuned in, we do have a severe thunderstorm. Radar will up severe. We have that one right there. Hold on. Those two expired. This big one right here over where Holly Springs is in Bolivar. That severe thunderstorm, if you just now tuned in, that doesn't expire until about 3 o'clock. Let's pull. Does it let me click on the watch warning right here in this area? All right, so severe thunderstorm warning. National Weather Service, okay, 2:31 p.m. So severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect at 3 o'clock for northern Marshall, northern Benson, southeastern Fayette, Hardeman, northwestern McNair, and southwestern Chester counties. So because the 60-mile wind gust and penny-sized hail. This is radar indicated. Expect damage to roof. So the location: Bolivar, Lamar, Whiteville, Somerville, Byhalia, Siltland, Canyon, Mount Pleasant, Large, Masseyville, Michigan City, Sladen, Robinson, McNair, Middleton, Rossville, McCoss, Wilston, Grand Junction, and Horseville. This also includes Interstate 22 Mississippi near Marker 13. For your protection, move to an interior room or on the lowest floor of the building. So torrential rainfall, like y'all saw those MDOT cameras, That rain has come down hard. It's causing a little bit of punting in our roadway, streets, neighborhoods, rural areas. Oh, and that was another thunder, and ditch areas. So do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. That's why you turn around, don't drown, and still like treat it as a four-way stop. You're at a four-way stop in the flood and still try to turn around, don't drown. And so the hail threat radar is indicated, and then the max hail is like almost an inch, just a quarter, 75. Wind threat radar indicated. Well, the wind is not really blowing. I'm looking through the window, not really. So radar may be a little wrong with it. And then the max wind gust 60 miles. It could get a little higher because these storms trying to get a little, yeah. Who was just watching on Facebook? But if you're just now tuning in, we're live on all platforms. Thank you to that one person that just joined. I wish it would tell me, but it won't tell me on my end. Oh, I see it right here. One person. Okay, I see it.
I want to sing some of my. To sing the song.
Trying to see who just watched. Oh, it won't tell me till one time. All right, oh, it won't tell me till I ended. Okay, I'll just make sure I'm still live on there. Take a look, share in document. Take a look at our traffic again. Over it, I don't think we have no Tennessee documents. Let's use this. This is on US 51 in Horn Lake.
Give us some space, everyone. No.
All right, we're gonna get back to our cup. You can see here's what we're tracking on radar right now. All this red can be indicating some rotation, but I guess there's not enough storm energy in the air to issue any tornado warnings or watches. So that's a good thing, really. But still, just because there's no tornado watch or warning, conditions are still favorable. One could be ruled without even hearing anything about it. So just stay weather, keep your eye out, alert, stay weather aware. That's what I'm trying to say. Stay weather aware. So as we're looking on radar, I'm gonna see, do we have any intense rotation? Nope. Not so, because about an hour ago it was saying the rotation strength was 1, but now there's no rotation. Okay, well that's a good thing, but it's still rotating on radar. No rotation is right now. Is there any hail on radar? There is, but it's not much hail. Storm tracking.
Let's go.
The storm track tells you the direction. So it looks like based off of the storm track, I'm gonna stop it at the last one. So based off of the storm track. So right here, I'm gonna go off of this one. Based off of this line right here that I'm drawing. So where's that line? From Tunica really, or West Tunica 1? All the way to, where's that box at? That's about 30 miles from Tunica. I'm drawing from what the storm track gave me. That one's from the area and just from the box. All the way to really Millington. 47 miles. So that storm from the Mariana to Millington and Memphis, that was 47 miles. Then this one from west of Hernando going to Bolivar. Draw it here. 45.5 miles. Then Batesville to New Albany, 42.8. Okay. We can turn on our tracker. So we're going to click it from, based off right here, I'm going to click it from the first box. I pushed it right there, and based off of Ripley. So it's going to be moving east, 68 miles, 159 for Brooms. Oh, that already passed. 159 already passed. All right, now, so heads up for Memphis at 139. Oh, Some of these times have already passed, but I still got to say them. Middleton, 149. Brownsville, 159. Humboldt, 209. Huntington, 219. Paris, 2:29 p.m. CT time. Those are all central time. And it's moving northeast at 153 miles an hour. Then I want to, from the one from Senatobia to right there. So that storm from Senatobia moving east and northeast at 89 miles. Heads up for Hernando at 1:44 p.m. These times have passed. 1:59, 2:14 for Corinth, 2:29 Savannah, 2:44 for Humpton. That's in about one more minute. 2:59 for Lexington. That's the storm track. And that's a new feature. I didn't even know they had a storm track feature.
You can't make music until you do. It's too bad. That's what happens when you don't read the fine print in the contract. And for America's
Oh, look at this box. It was big ago, but look, they shrunk. The National Weather Service has shrunk the box a little bit. So that means it's trying to expire, basically. They shrunk it. So some of the locations I called off earlier, that severe thunderstorm box. So the National Weather Service has kind of shrunk the box a little bit. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off the radar. We have another warning since that severe thunderstorm one I think is almost expired. I'm gonna go hop off the radar. So I don't think it should be too bad. So, all right, if you know if another warning, watch or anything is issued, we'll be back on. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll still keep an eye on radar.